Good evening. Ira Epstein of Linn & Associates with your SPDR ETF wrap-up for this Wednesday, the 3rd of March, 2021. I got a favor before I goes on. If you like these videos, at least hit the thumbs up on YouTube or subscribe to them. The subscription there is totally free. At least you'll know when they're coming out, and they'll come right to you, and you'll get your notification. Okay, it's not so much to ask, right? Helps me keep these going for you. So today, if you look behind me, a lot more down than up, especially in stock indices. You had the energies up, but remember, tomorrow's an OPEC meeting. Metal markets got hit very hard, and interest rates continue to climb. So what is going on? Well, we're going to hear tomorrow from Fed Chair Powell. He has to speak and answer a bunch of questions. That'll be great, and it'll give the market some calming, possibly. But the simple fact is we're in the post-pandemic era. I know you may not believe that, but if you really look at the numbers in many states, Texas today removed the masks, whether President Biden agrees with it or not. They're progressive, and they decided to move the mask restriction. At different parts of the world, different things happening. Germany's extending the restrictions from the sounds of it until March 28th. And France is now working ways out in April, probably late April, to lift their restrictions. Now we're hearing that in America, teachers are now on the high list to get their COVID shot, which they should have been at the beginning to get the kids back to school. I don't know who thought up not to put them there. That's to me mind-boggling, because you want those kids out so you can get people, the families out as well. In any case, doesn't matter. What we're dealing with is rising interest rates from an economy that's looking over the horizon saying post-pandemic, things are going to be bought, spent on. People are tired of not doing things. They're going out to eat. They're going to go to a movie theater. They're going to go to a ball game. I can go on and on with the list. You know that. Then the other part that's happening is the inflation expectation. Regardless of what the Fed says, in the background, they're smiling. They want to see a bit higher interest rates. It means growth. And the inflation they're not too worried about. They've missed getting it where they want for over a decade. Maybe it'll finally get there. That's what you're dealing with, a transition. So the markets that were the hot runners during the COVID pandemic, well, they're backing off a bit, be it the Apples, the Zooms. I can go on and on. But that doesn't mean they're bad companies in any manner. It's where money is shifting, and once you get through that, you get a different footing. You're in that shift of footing. Understand that. Now, when we take a look at Gamestop, this is one of those markets that I look at because, hey, it's still hanging at that upper Bollinger Band. It's not acting like a market that wants to go back down to these levels over here. Not at all. This is a market that's come alive. I'm not saying it's a great company. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying observe what it's doing. Even if you take out 112.20, the neutral zone is back at the $70 level. That's still a big bump from where it had been. AMC, you're no longer in a $2 stock. You're sitting here, whether you're up or down, at $8. You're 4 times the value. And you want to bet against this as the movie theaters are now starting to open? I'll let you do that, and I'll let others do that. But I think that people are saying, okay, this was crazy too high, but now the market's getting back in line. What is the trend? Until you take out 763 right here, you do have the pattern of higher lows. However, you also have lower highs with the current action. So you've narrowed in like that in the marketplace. It has stepped out of that thrust to the upside for certain. You see that as we came back here. I don't know what it wants to do next. I look at PAVE, and why? Because infrastructure. Tomorrow, they were supposed to begin debating seriously on the COVID relief bill. Well, now, as I understand it, there's a threat on the Capitol, at least a well-founded threat, and the House of Representatives has adjourned. They're not going to meet tomorrow. I don't know what the Senate will do with that. I'm also bothered by the fact that here they are, and terrorists, just the threat of it shuts down our government. I call them not having a meeting in the House, shutting down the government. Okay. As I look at this chart, what do I see? I see a market that's stalling. It has this high of 23.74. You can see that. The prior high had been 23.75. You'll tell me, well, Ira, it's close. Well, yeah, it is. You can call it a double top, but it's still lower highs with higher lows. You've gone into a pause. If the market comes down under here, it could be another problem for the marketplace. When I look at how it's working, it's got the higher lows, lower highs, supports back at 2278. And if you were to take out 2327 on this pattern, you would get for the short term the swing line turning into a bearish trend. It's fully countered because you're over the 18-day average. So you get one that's bearish, one, the bias on it would keep traders like me because of the checkpoints away from making a recommendation, oh, I think you should buy or sell in that thing. And you're overbought. So which way do I think it can go? I think it can drop easier than it can rally here. So I wouldn't be surprised if you can get back to the 2278 because you're overbought, because you now have the lower highs, higher lows, and you're coming off a rally that's failing at the upper Bollinger Band. When I come to THCX, this contra-trend bounce that you have after a big decline in the market, a lot of resistance here at the 18-day average of closes. You got to let that work through. What about here? You're oversold. You're not embedded. You're fighting a market. If you take a look here, both numbers are under 20. The day before under 20, but not the day before that. Tomorrow, if you close with the slow stochastics, both numbers under 20, then you have a more bearish situation at hand that probably calls for a challenge down here. Right now, to reverse that, should the market get back up and close over 2245 and not take out 1950, you'd get a reversal of this, putting into play the possibility of getting back to the upper Bollinger Band. Get the embedded reading, and I think the lower band comes into play. It's an interesting day tomorrow. In SMH, as I've said, as much as the president talks about the shortage, and he does, and we're hearing it from corporations in America, of our semiconductors, you can still see the market is falling away here. I don't know what gives with that. I don't care about the fundamentals as much as you might think. I pay more attention to the chart action. It's bearish. It's, though, very, very close to the end of this break, which I would call 231.93. I think there'll be a big amount of short covering down there by the pros. You're oversold. You've been in a downtrend. First challenge of hitting a Bollinger Band, that's what I'm creating my course on. I give reasons why I think the pros will cover there. On XLI, the industrial sector, as much as we're talking about growth, this is a market that's come just recently from 84 up to the 94 level. And as you can see, it's got a lot of resistance right here. Trend is up. Overbought, doesn't seem to be able to clear the embedded reading. And even if it did, without getting an embedded stochastic reading, I don't see anything. Now, you did lose the reading back here. That's where you lost it. And you never did hit that 18-day average of closes, which is a surprise to me. Normally it doesn't. We'll see if it wants to come down, if it breaks. Getting back under 92.26 tomorrow would be a good indication that the market wants to do that and get back to 90.88. On the other hand, let me tell you something that I've learned in my studies. When you get a market that loses an embedded reading and it does not get to that 18-day average, it forces the average to run up to the price rather than price. Breaking to it, it is an internal sign of strength, not weakness. You'll see that on the weekly chart more times than not. On the XLA, you're overbought. In an uptrend, you've already hit one of your targets, then you lost the embedded reading, and you lost it right here, as you can see. You came back the next day, you did not get it back. As far as I'm concerned, this is very similar to what we were just looking at. This could easily, if you get back under here now, that 49.10, be the package that delivers the market back to the 18-day average of closes. If both numbers should embed, you got the first day of doing it today, need 2 more days of it minimum. If that happened, well, then you throw away that this is not going to be hit. On the other hand, this is the energy sector. Tomorrow's what day? Thursday. When's the OPEC meeting? Tomorrow. What did 3 ministers throw out today? Well, maybe they'll just keep all these cuts in place through April. That was a surprise to the market, hearing that. That is not what was expected. What's expected is at least 500,000 barrels coming back on the market. At a minimum, 1 million was the play a couple of days ago. Now the market is flirting. Is that considered, what kind of number, 500,000? I don't know. Do I ever tell you to buy into a Bollinger Band? Would I? Not going to happen with me. Would I tell you to sell a lower Bollinger Band, just like here? No. You're oversold. You're hitting through here. Big support starts right now down to the 100-day average. The trend is down, but it's oversold. I don't think you're attracting new money. Obviously, the risk is still downside, not upside, because the trend is down, the bias is down, but the oversold and hitting Bollinger Bands and staying under them very difficult. Have you noticed most of these charts we're talking about have a bearish slant to it? I've been telling you that for a while, that these markets are acting heavy, and I'll stick with what I preach. In the EFA, momentum trying to turn down. Trend is down. Lower highs, lower lows. To negate this pattern, you've got to get back over the highs of Tuesday at 75.58. I think the pros are short this market with stops really over that high that they're now going to drop down. And we'll see if the market can make a run for the lower Bollinger Band. That has been a trade that from the first of the year, that was one of the favorites, and being short the dollar. Neither of those trades are working out. In the gold market, you can see how the market's just leaking to the downside. I've been saying I don't know what's going to help this market. In my nightly report tonight, I've got a chart out of Bloomberg that shows inflation expectations, and they're as high as they've been in a 20-year period. Yeah, as high as they've been. So the market's looking for it. This isn't paying attention. This market's still fixated on the idea that higher interest rates compete with gold. So understand what you're dealing with. You're running the lower Bollinger Band until it ends. It doesn't end. You could even get another leg. Why? You're getting an embedded reading. Day one, where both numbers are under the 20 level, right? Yesterday and the day before. You got your reading. What will give you an idea that the market wants to get back up to wherever the 18-day average is losing that reading. But in between now and then, the first good rally off this low is probably one on a normal basis that will get sold. You know, I don't know what's going to happen in Washington. I don't know if Congress is going to be attacked or not. There's always wild cards. But throwing that type of craziness out, which I do think is crazy, and I can't imagine the heads that'll fly if something isn't cracked down now. Fire them all if that were the case. How could you have the Pentagon there? The Pentagon. How could you have National Guard and it's all lost? Well, I don't know if I should go out today, should I? I don't know if you watched the interviews on CNN today. I was watching that. As between the fire chiefs, the head of the National Guard, the representative from the Department of Defense, this was absolutely a screw up. It's that simple. How could you have all these people in the heart of Washington and you can't get somebody there right away? In any case, lower highs, lower lows. You can see what's going on. Embedded, well, take a look here. Both numbers were under there. Under there, under there, you're there. You had 3 days in a row. So until you lose that, same thing. You're just running this. There's nothing bullish on this chart. And the bears are getting, enamored with it. They're strengthening their position. They're pushing on this really hard. TLT. In looking at the market, still bearish. In fact, it reasserted its bearishness today, and you'll say why. Let me show you what you looked like yesterday. Yesterday, you had a pattern of higher lows, lower highs. If you take out the 140 level, if you take my charting course, you reinstate that bearishness right there. Now, admittedly, the market is oversold and not embedded. So I'm not telling you that, hey, all of a sudden I'm saying go short there to anybody. And I didn't say that this morning in my subscriber video, where I do say buy here, sell there. I am saying that it just reinstated its bearishness, and you get that across the board. AGG, BND, they're all have reinstated their bearishness. FXE. Can't lift its head. The market's now gone back to the bearish state. Lower highs, lower lows. However, it still remains very oversold. Hasn't proven to me that it can get through that 100 and lower Bollinger Band. You're getting to an area of support. What could happen here? Any close over 113.52 like that will turn this market bullish. And you'll have, wherever that upper Bollinger Band comes in, that would be an upside target in the market. So it's interesting. More stocks than not, more spiders, and I'm said stocks, it should be spiders and ETFs, have rolled to the bear side. We're in a correction status. How deep? I can't begin to tell you. I can tell you, though, I don't have buy signals other than I'm telling you what could happen if you go those splits in the market. Now, if you're like so many traders, you want to get ideas before the market gets too far along during the day. So each morning, I used to do it in the afternoon. Now, each morning, I do a video for you. I start recording at 8:40. On Saturdays, I record using only weekly charts. So during the days ones, I use primarily days, but I will move around. I used to do this on the late in the day. We found that so many people like it the other way. We have to upgrade these ads, but I'm doing my course, so I got my whole staff involved. The course is not what you think. I do all the recordings, but then behind the scenes, we make it where everything's on the website, how it plays, how you pay for it. There's so much going on. It takes about a week and a half, but once we get it, then my other courses just slip right into this whole software that we're built for. $8.95 for 30 days. Can't afford that, what can I tell you? But you'll get specific buy here, sell there, weekly, daily chart analysis, longer term, shorter term analysis, the day's events coming out to you literally as they happen. I've already, when I start recording, I see the early morning government reports, and then I'm telling you, and sometimes I hold back, and as the reports are breaking on the news waves, I'm bringing them to you like I did today, and then quick analysis of what those mean. Want to give it a try? Simple. Go to our website under the word research. It's all there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day.